What's up, guys? So I'm going to make this video so you guys can see worked out problems of the study guide. So that way, if you guys are trying to figure out how to do it, you can watch these videos and see how I do it and fix your mistakes. So let's get going. You can fast forward, you can jump ahead. I'm going to start 1, 2, 3, but let's say you only need help on number 3. Just go ahead to number 3 where I'm working on it and watch me do it. All right, so number 1, the cylinder shown has a volume of 90 cubic units. The cone and the cylinder have the same height and the same base. What is the volume of the cone? Well, from my videos, I know that 3 cones equals 1 cylinder. So it's a cone times 3, or it's a cylinder divided by 3. So it says the cylinder has 90. So if the cylinder has 90, and I got to take the 90 and divide it by 3, which is 30 cubic units for the cone. Cool. A cylinder has a height of h inches and a diameter of 6 inches. So a cylinder has a height of h inches and a diameter of 6, which means the radius will be 3. The radius is 3. So which expressions give the volume of the cylinder? Okay, so the cylinder is radius times pi times height. Or 3 times 3 times pi times height. 3 times 3 is 9 times pi times height. 3 times 3 is also 3 squared times pi times height. So 3 squared times pi times height. No. 6, h squared, no. H squared, no. 6 squared, that's the diameter squared. That might trick you, but no. So it's those two right there. If the height of the cylinder is 4 inches, what is the volume? All right, so the cylinder now has a height of 4 inches and a diameter, it says right up here, a diameter of 6 inches, which means the radius is going to be 3 to the diameter is 2 times the radius. It's twice the radius. So I got to go 3 times 3 times pi times height. Radius times radius times pi times height. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 4. 9 times 4, that's why you use a pencil, not a pen. I'm using the pen so you can see it. 9 times 4 is 36 pi cubic inches. All right, cylinder and a cone and sphere are shown below. The figures have the same radius and the same height. If the volume of the cone is 36 cubic units, so 36 cubic units, what are the volumes of the cylinder and the sphere? All right, well, I know 3 cones go into the cylinder, so I got to times that by 3. And I know 2 cones go in the sphere, so I got to times that by 2. So 36 times 3 is 108, so it's 108 for the cylinder. 36 times 2 is 72. You can watch those previous videos to see how I know that 3 go in there and 2 go in there. All right, that's the first page. Number 4. Kendra is filling a cone-shaped basket, each with a height of 10 inches and a radius of 3 inches. To use a table for decoration, in terms of pi, what is the exact volume of each cone-shaped basket? Cone-shaped basket, each with a height of 10 inches and a radius of 3. So the height is 10 and the radius is 3. So it's radius times pi times height divided by 3. So I go 3 times 3 times pi times 10 divided by 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 10 is 90 pi divided by 3, so it's 30 pi. Because 90 divided by 3 is 30. If Kendra says she doubles the radius from 3 to 6, the cone will have double the volume. Is it correct? So instead of a 3-inch radius, so the height stays the same. So this height is still 10, but instead of 3, it's now 6. And we want to know if it doubles the volume. Let's find out. Radius times pi times height divided by 3. 6 times 6 times pi times 10 divided by 3. 6 times 6 is 36. 36 times 10 is 360. Pi divided by 3, which is equal to 120 pi. Is 120 pi double 30 pi? No. So no, it does not double. In fact, it quadruples. It quadruples it. So doubling the radius will quadruple the volume. Juan needs a right cylindrical storage tank that holds between 200 and 240 cubic feet of water. Using whole numbers only, provide the radius and height of two different tanks that hold between 200 and 240. So we're talking cylinder tanks. Radius times pi times height. So I need to make up a radius and a height that if I do the math, it'll equal 200 to 240 cubic feet. So I'm going to use pi as 3.14. So I'm just going to make up some numbers. Let's try a radius of 7. So 7 times 7 times 3.14. Okay, what does that equal? 153? Geez, I don't know. It probably won't work because if I times it by 2, it would be outside of the barrier. So let's try a smaller number. 5 times pi times, let's go a height of 2. Nope. Let's try changing it to a height of 3. Oh, that works. 5 times 5. So if the radius is 5 and the height is 3, then radius times pi times height equals 235.5 cubic feet. That is between 200 and 240. Okay? So you just kind of have to guess and check to see if it works. All right. A baseball has a radius of 3 inches. What is the volume of the baseball rounded to the nearest hundredth? That's 2 decimals. So we have a sphere. We have a sphere, and the radius is 3 inches. Well, we learned that it is 4 pi r cubed divided by 3 from one of the previous videos. That means I go 4 times pi times 3 times 3 times 3 times cubed divided by 3. All right. 4 times 3 times 3 times 3 divided by 3 is 36. So it's 36 pi. That's what's left over. I get 36. You go to this, you get 108 divided by 3. 36 pi cubic inches. All right, number 9. Cone with a radius of 4 feet is shown. Volume is 165 cubic feet. Determine the height. You know, it's radius times pi times height. That equals, in this case, 165. Well, radius times radius, it's 4 times pi times height equals 165. 4 times 4 is 16. So 16 pi times h equals 165. Now I need to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So I need to divide both sides by 16 pi. And look at h equals 165 divided by 16 pi. That equals 3.28. 3.28 feet. Okay, so far so good. An ice cream cone has a height of 15 centimeters and a radius of 10 centimeters. As shown, the ice cream completely fills the cone as well as the half sphere above the cone. Determine the exact volume in terms of pi. So what is the volume? Well, let's do the cone first. The radius is 10, so it's radius times pi times height divided by 3. 10 times 10 times pi is 15 divided by 3. So on the calculator, I'm typing 10 times 10 times 15. Remember, I'm leaving pi alone because it's in terms of pi. Divided by 3, we get 500 pi. 500 pi for the cone. So the cone is 500 pi. Now I need to do half the sphere, half of it. So 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. In this case, it's 4 times pi times 10, 3 times. 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000 times 4 is 4,000. 4,000 divided by 3 is 1,333.3. 1,333.3 pi. Add those two together. Add 500 pi to that, and I get 1,833.3 repeating pi cubic centimeters. That one's kind of a tough one. That one is a little tricky. All right, number 9. Cylindrical tank has a height of 12 feet and a radius of 5 feet. So the height is 12 feet. The radius is 5 feet. Jane fills the tank with water at a rate of 8 cubic feet per minute. At this rate, how many minutes will it take Jane to completely fill the tank without overflowing it? Round the answer to the nearest minute. All right, so cylinder, radius times pi times height. 5 times 5 times pi times 12. That's 25 pi times 12. What is 25 times 12? That's 300. So it's 300 pi. 300 pi. Let's do that. Let's go times 3.14. 942. That's the volume. But she's filling it at a rate of 8 cubic feet per minute. So I have to divide by 8 to figure out how many minutes. So I divide it by 8, and I get 117.75. Now, I cannot overflow it, but I need to round. So if I round up at 118 minutes, that means it's overflowing. So the nearest minute is 117 total minutes. We're flying on this, right? All right, looks like that's all of it. Okay, there's those worked out problems. Hopefully this helps. Whoa, scratch that. I found one more on the back. Number 10, a cylinder with a radius of 3 feet is shown. Its volume is 86 cubic feet. Determine the height in feet of the cylinder. Round the answer to the nearest 100. So I know that it's radius times pi times height. Well, radius times radius is 3 times 3 times pi times height. And that all equals 86 cubic feet. Now 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times pi times height equals 86. Alright, so now I got to divide. The opposite of multiplication is division. So 9 times pi, I got to go 9 divided by 9 pi on both sides. Those cancel each other out, and look, the height is equal to 86 divided by 9 pi. I'm doing the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So 86 divided by 9 pi, and I get 330.02. 30.02 feet. All right, now, good luck.